Hello! Today we shall be talking about / reviewing Black Widow. It finally came out to theaters and I finally got to go and watch it, and today we'll be talking about it. The first half will be spoiler free, the second half will be filled with spoilers. I only want this to be about a 6-minute review just to give you my general thoughts on about it, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, and honestly how I felt about it when it should have came out earlier, but because we all know who was in charge of Marvel at that time, and he wasn't really the nicest of people, so we ended up getting this movie. I suppose it is better late than never, but let's actually talk about it. So without further ado, shall we begin? So, Black Widow, starring Scarlett Johansson, and I'm gonna butcher her name, so I'm not even gonna try to say it, but she plays her sister too. We know that from the trailer, so anything that was covered in the trailers I will be talking about, so that is trailer spoiler warning, I guess you could say, and all that. We know that Taskmaster is the main villain of this, and we know that the Red Room is heavily played in this too, and do we actually finally find out what happened in Budapest and all that? Yes, but I won't get into the details about it until we get into the spoiler part of this. But what I really liked about this, I really liked the action scenes. The action scenes were awesome. The opening credits, like the opening prologue, right after the opening part, like you have the opening part, like that sets up the movie and all that. Then you have the Marvel Studios and all that. And then you have the actual opening, which is like the credits and all that. And I gotta say, it's some of my absolute favorite opening credits that Marvel has ever done. And I think it's dark. It tells exactly what you need to know about the Red Room, and I feel like they tell it awesome. Like, there's really no better way to really go about it, and it was surprisingly very dark for Disney / Marvel to go in that direction. I'm happy that they did, and I'm surprised that they did, and I'll get more into details about that once we get into the spoiler part. But Taskmaster is in it. Taskmaster, I can't really talk about him without getting into spoilers, but his action scenes I was happy with, but I wasn't really happy with just the character overall, and I'll get more into that too once we get into spoilers. But I honestly feel like this movie should have came out between Civil War and Infinity War, but obviously we know who was behind the scenes and all that with Marvel, so obviously that couldn't happen, but sadly it would have been perfect if that did happen. Like, I definitely felt like this was a really good connective tissue, but I feel like it should have came out then. It shouldn't have came out later on, but that's personally just how I feel about it, because I do like the character of Black Widow a lot, and the way that she died in Endgame, and then after she dies, they're like, alright, we're gonna give her own movie. And then after that, COVID delays it even more, to the point that they decided to do a Disney Plus release and a theater release. I mean, you had to pay for it on Disney Plus. I went to the theater to go see it. It was nice seeing a Marvel movie again in theaters. The fans were like out of control when the Marvel logo came up, and everyone was like, yeah, like, just finally to see a Marvel movie again in theaters. William Hurt is in this again as General Ross. He does not have a lot of screen time. He maybe has 5 minutes altogether. But anyway, it's a good movie. Parts of it, like, I can understand the people that say it feels unnecessary. Like, it definitely should have came out between those two movies, but I am happy to actually just finally get a Black Widow movie. I wasn't happy with a couple of things in it, but I was happy with the other things in it. I would say it's a solid 7.5 out of 10. Like, it's a good Marvel movie. It feels very Phase 1, and once you see it, you'll completely understand what I mean by that. But anyway, that was my non-spoiler review of Black Widow. Now we'll get into spoilers in spoiler time. So the main thing I want to talk about is Taskmaster. First of all, you see the twist coming from a mile away. The minute the villain, I can't think of his name, like the Red Room guy, Dreykov, when the minute he was like, "You killed my daughter," and you're like, okay, no, she didn't. Like, it was made to believe that, but if you survived, obviously the daughter survived, so obviously the daughter is going to be Taskmaster, but something's wrong with her, so she can't talk and all that, and it's just a disappointing reveal, because, one, you see it coming from a mile away. Two, if you read any of the Taskmaster comics, read any comics with Taskmaster in it, you know how cool of a character he actually is, and just to have them do that twist just to, like, push the plot forward, and I wasn't really happy with that reveal whatsoever. That's just my personal opinion on it. I did like Dreykov in it. I thought he was an okay villain. Like, he was about as good as it can get. David Harbour was in it too as their father, and he was a lot of fun in it too. The mother was great too, and I gotta say the two people that stood out in this though definitely was Scarlett Johansson and the actress that plays her sister. I can't think of her name off the top of my head, but they did great in it. She definitely stole the show. The sister, like she stole it more than Scarlett did. I was like, oh, okay, this is actually really, really good. Like she was the comic relief and all that. Like she made fun of the way that Scarlett always landed, and she's like that, and she tried it and she's like, oh, disgusting. I just thought that was a lot of fun. She was really, really good in it. I really did enjoy her character in it, and she portrayed her perfectly, and I'm really, really looking forward to when she comes back, because the post-credit scene in this is we're meeting Valentino, something like that. She has a super long name. I'm just gonna call her Valentino, but she's like in the post-credit scene after Endgame at Nat's like grave and all that, and she's blowing her nose, and she's just like, yes, it's very, very sad. Anyway, Loki reference, but pretty much what it was her saying like, yeah, but don't you want the revenge on the man who killed your sister? And then she shows a picture of Hawkeye, and then because this is going to lead into the Hawkeye TV show, and I'm really, really looking forward to that. And we were originally supposed to meet her in this, and then meet her in Falcon and Winter Soldier, but because COVID happened and all that, Falcon and Winter Soldier ended up coming out before Black Widow, and it is what it is. It didn't really do any damage to any of the storytelling, and it was definitely an intriguing post-credit scene. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that, and I gotta say, the opening credits that I want to talk about deals with the Red Room, the human trafficking and all that, to a very, very surprisingly good cover of Smells Like Teen Spirit. Like, it surprised me how good it was. I actually added to my Spotify list. I was like, okay, this is actually really, really good. The movie surprised me vastly with how good that opening credits was. I had a couple problems about it. I already talked about the problems. The pros definitely outweighed the cons, but I definitely recommend it just for that opening credits alone. Like, it is so well done, those opening credits. I absolutely loved them. But anyway, that was my review of Black Widow. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and a subscribe so I know to keep making more of these. If you have any video requests, please leave them down in the comments below. I'll do my best to reply. Let me know what you thought of Black Widow down in the comments below as well. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you just think it was okay? Or did you not like it whatsoever? Let me know down in the comments below. But anyway, thanks for watching as always, and I will see all of you in the next video. Bye!